Alright, so it is now day 3 of the cruise, and we have finally made it to our first port of call in Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark. As we approach the port, we can see many islands, windmills, sailboats, other cruise ships, and just beauty all around. While the captain and crew were working to dock the cruise ship, we were just eating breakfast in the dining room and taking in the sights that surrounded us. We chose the city sights and Dragor Fishermen's Village as our shore excursion, which was approximately 4 hours in duration. This was mainly because I had already spent a week in the city of Copenhagen the previous December while attending a conference. If I ever get around to making a video for that trip, I'll be sure to include the link in the description below. For those that did not purchase a shore excursion and just want to do a hop-on, hop-off kind of thing, the Copenhagen City Sightseeing bus was standing by. I did this when I was in Copenhagen previously, and I highly recommend. It has 3 different routes and a river cruise. For our shore excursion, we also had our own tour bus, which picked us up right outside the cruise ship. I will say, for every one of our shore excursions, the buses we were on were very comfortable and luxurious. They also always had less than 40 people per bus, even though each bus could hold a little over 50 people. Obviously, many times when we got to the destination, there would be many buses with other guests, but each tour group would only have 30 to 40 people. Anyways, this tour bus took us through the main highlights within Copenhagen, including the Town Hall Square, the National Museum, the Christiansborg Castle, which is home to the Danish Parliament, the Old Stock Exchange, and the residence of the Royal Family Palace. The guide took us to see the Little Mermaid, which is a statue that has become the world-famous symbol of Copenhagen. We also stopped by Gefjon Fountain, located near the Little Mermaid. It pays tribute to a goddess to whom the King of Sweden promised as much land as she could plow in a single day. And despite being a virgin, she turned her 4 sons into bulls to plow for the land. And we saw some other sights as we drove around. I even saw a glimpse of the AC Hotel where I stayed at back in December. Great hotel, highly recommend. We also passed by Tivoli, which I didn't get a picture of on this trip, so I'm using the December pictures I got. This place is beautiful during the Christmas season. They say this is where Walt Disney got his inspiration for his theme parks, which I'm sure you all know very well. After completing the tour of Copenhagen, we drove across the bridge and over to the end of Amager Island to a beautiful little village called Dragor. In the early 16th century, King Christian II invited a group of farmers from the Netherlands, which at the time was a more agriculturally advanced nation compared to Denmark, to settle here and produce food for the royal household. 24 families arrived, and to this day, 3 centuries later, continue to live in the area. It is said that they are also responsible for introducing the carrot to Denmark. Dragor has a charming harbor front and is a cozy village dominated by its characteristic yellow painted houses, red roofs, and cobblestone streets. At the Dragor Stand Hotel, we were treated to coffee and an almond-filled pastry, which was included in the excursion. My dad, of course, bought 3 more for the ride back. As we came back to our cruise ship and marveled at this amazing piece of engineering, we were once again greeted by this cute guy. We had a quick lunch at the Lido marketplace, which is basically a buffet area on the ship, and continued to look out at the waters and scenery that surrounded us. And you know I have to show you what we ate for dinner. For starters, we had some egg rolls, which were mediocre, but we're all used to my mom's crab meat infused egg rolls, so we are definitely biased there. We also had some escargot with garlic bread, which was very good, and we ordered a double that night. The entrees included the pulled pork slider, chicken parm, and some roast beef with healthiness. For dessert, the Carnival chocolate classic and a cheesecake. And of course, ice cream goes with both. We ended the night with a cover artist. She was pretty good and we enjoyed watching her. That night, the cruise ship would then be on its way to our next port of call, Warnemünde, Germany.